that yeah, really nothing, really not enough to really determine a solid leader right here. No one really has there's no pressure on either player to really attack right now. Although it looks like Firebat Hero is maybe taking the base at the 6 o'clock position, which would give him his third base. And if that is the case, then it is then he has put the pressure on Firebat Hero to both scout that out and also to do some counter damage or expand himself, which is pretty nice right now. I think he's doing a pretty good job of keeping that relatively hidden right now as it comes up. A couple siege tanks and a minefield helping around, as well as those marauding vultures, absolutely marauding vultures. And it looks like Flash is just going to take his new base there at the 10 o'clock position, and that base nowadays does have a gas now. In the old Moon Glaive, that was only a mineral only, but here it is a gas expansion with the new build, with the new map. And I think that SCV producing the command center at the 6 o'clock may have been killed. I can't tell for sure, that those vultures seem like they swooped in, maybe took a couple of shots, and they haven't really clicked on it to see. But it's also possible that it's just alive, and that's why they haven't clicked on it, and that they were just shooting at something else. I think Firebat here has to be very pleased so far with his play, doing a very good job, although it looks like there's a little bit of engagement. Never mind, those are just mines. This is one thing about TVT that's really hard to do. You watch the mini-map, and there's just so much blobs of stuff everywhere that you can't really tell what's going on, because there's so much because there's just so many mines across the map. You can't really tell where the actual forces are. It looks like Flash is focused his forces on the right side of the map here, actually. Not actually in a place to defend his new expansion, although it actually looks like he's trying to take both sides. In the middle, there's sort of like this block. I feel like it's kind of like a triangle block, and it looks like Flash is trying to take two sides of that triangle and leave Firebat here, which is 1/3, which would give Flash eventually 2/3 of the map in terms of his vision in terms of his overall control, which is obviously very, very nice for him if he can do that type of a play. We did see the starport for Firebat Hero was producing something. Looks like it was producing a Wraith, since there was no control tower attached. No upgrades yet for either player, although they're only clicking on Firebat Heroes here. I don't know if they've clicked on Flashes. Here's Flashes, and yeah, no upgrades there either. And we do see some vultures, I think, on the right side. Maybe mines again. It's just so hard to tell. Now those are definitely vultures. Those are moving red dots. Those have to be vultures. And definitely, this is just a very interesting macro level game. We got a couple of rates out. I think that the rates are more to just counter dropship play. It's very smart actually by Firebat here, just producing these couple rates that allow him to have some mobile vision. Although he's got to be careful with all the Goliaths that are around, and it will also allow him to stop counter drops. If you send a couple of rates with your dropships, that can be very effective to stop counter drops, which is very, very cool. And but he's not going to have too much success taking down these tanks. He really needs to retreat right now. Doesn't want to lose that Wraith. There are too many Goliaths out on the field already for Flash. Flash usually has Goliaths very, very early in his TVT, and actually I think in just about every matchup, when he goes mech, he's going to have early Goliaths. That is his MO. We see 5 factories up right now for Flash. 3 of them have machine shops, and we see 4 factories for Firebat Hero, maybe a 5th down to the south a little bit, so I think it might actually be almost mirrored amounts of buildings from both these players. Both of these players using a very optimized build, doing a fantastic job with it, and it's nice to see no big mistakes here in build order here. Very cool when we see that kind of a play. Looks like Firebat here might actually be taking another base at the 6 o'clock position. I don't know, the 5:30, I guess we can call that. Yeah, it doesn't really so close to the other one, but there is a significant ridge, kind of like a waterway that's separating them, that keeps them from being too connected. But overall, they're both defendable together. And I wonder what those vultures are doing on the right side, or if they've already been pulled back and that's just like a minefield at this point. We do have a science facility up for both players, probably for upgrades, and they will definitely both be transitioning into dropship play very, very soon here. And it looks like Firebat Hero actually pushing out here. Oh, sloppy play by Firebat Hero, allowing several of his tanks to go down to some of these mines of Flash. So a little bit of a sloppy play there. Definitely a misplay, and Flash is going to try and take another base at the 9 o'clock position, going to try and get a little bit more economy going. Both these players just doing economy, hardcore, and a couple of rates are going to maybe try and start picking away at this engineering bay before some Goliaths come to stop them. But Firebat here on the left side of the middle of the map needs to be kind of careful. That is not a very large force he has there, and with the dropship and forces on both sides, it is vulnerable to a possible pincer. Needs to be careful with that group. Doesn't want to lose that, as that is a very important spot for him, so that way he can both put pressure on the new expansion, and also it leaves an avenue of attack for him to go into the main here. And Firebat here going for a drop, and it just fails, dropping right on top of mines. Absolute fail. You can't drop tanks on top of mines. You just get owned like that. So Firebat here playing a little bit unfortunate here, losing several losing several of his tanks. Just in some of these little engagements, although it doesn't look like Flash is really pressing at all, just trying to play relatively conservative here, picking up a couple of Goliaths. We'll see what kind of drop he goes for, and then the barracks for Firebite here, maybe finally going down. No, it's not done yet. Still in the yellow. I wonder if that's his original barracks. I haven't been paying that close attention to it, but I think that might. No, I gotta think that that's the second barracks at this point. There's too many Goliaths that were attacking it. Looks like Firebat here has idle SCVs everywhere. Idle SCVs, Firebat. No, idle SCVs. Flash is just taking the map. Dear Lord, he's taking a base at the top right. Hasn't taken a base at the bottom right. I thought he might have been, and really, he's just got a huge portion of the map. He's got Firebat Hero kind of tentative, I feel, to push out. There are some gaps in Flash's defense, and Firebat Hero's not really probing into them. I wonder if he's kind of concerned right now because he's already lost several tanks, and he doesn't want to leave himself open. So he's kind of playing a little bit on the tentative side here. Coming in for another drop, but he's likely to drop right in on top of Spider Mines again, which is not something he wants to do. And he is going to drop right on top of Spider Mines. Not going to have very much success at all. This is pretty awful for him. 4 siege tanks and a couple Goliaths actually are going to be able to clear away the... oh my god, huge mine picking up 3 more tanks. Jeez, these mines for Flash have just been so huge. And with these turrets here, if he can establish this bottom right, if he can get a mains obviously have more mineral patches than other bases. That will be a really nice advantage for Flash, and that will also give him a huge avenue of attack. That'll allow him also to possibly, I'm not sure about the ranges, but he might actually be able to siege parts of the base there at the 530 from inside that base, and that will also allow him to attack the mid-right ridges from inside that base. You can go from ridge into main, and main into ridge on this map. At least you could in the old Moon Glaive. I'm trying to think if I've seen any TVTs on this map. I feel like I have, but I can't remember for sure whether or not those range distances are the same or not from the main into the middle areas of the map. But I think that they are, and that they will be able to attack into them. We got 5 dropships out right now for Firebat Hero. It looks like he wants to go attack this bottom right again, but he needs to be careful. Can't afford to keep losing troops. He's already lost maybe 6 or 7 tanks to mines, as well as a couple Goliaths, which is just an awful blow for him. And he hasn't done a ton of damage at all to Flash here. Really, I feel like he should be focusing on the top left, maybe trying to take down a couple of these expansions. But it doesn't look like that's what he's doing. And he's taking his own. He's building a command center inside of his main. So I think he's going to go for that 9 o'clock position, which implies to me that he's going to go and make an assault on that 9 o'clock position rather soon, so that we can float that command center right away. But I think Flash sees this, and he's taking his dropships over there as well. But yeah, we'll see what happens here with this attack, because I feel like he almost has to attack because he can't afford to just sit here with that command center. Here comes the big drop, sieging up a lot of forces for Firebat here, and he absolutely needs to take this battle, and I think he's going to with those reinforcing ground units. So he is going to be able to take out this base. I feel the counter drop not being successful enough, and looks like a lot of these SCVs are also going down. And he is going to be able to take this base and probably take it for himself rather shortly. Just lift off his command center and go take it. Looks to be exactly what he is going to do. Sorry about that. And yeah, going to be a nice spot for him. That is definitely a base exchange. Well, I guess that's not the right term. Not base exchange. That's a base steal. That is a base steal. 6 dropships out here for Flash, and he is actually going to be able to float that command center away, which is nice for him. Definitely just a little bit of an advantage.